Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A very good day to you. This is Parenting Today, where we'll help you circumvent some parenting pitfalls, all in line with your principles and your values, and looking at how the Prophet ﷺ has raised his children and how our community can benefit. Because at the end of the day, we don't raise our children for ourselves, it's for the rest of the ummah, inshallah. Remember, you can also interact with us via our social media pages, and anyone listening, watching right now, and you've got family, friends over the land, across the beautiful seas, you can tell them to watch right now and live stream on hilaal.tv. You can also catch our uploads of the show on our YouTube channel, Hilaal TV, and Google Parenting Today, and all the shows of that season will come up. Today we chat free play. We did a show on the power of play, but now we're going to uncap that free play with Wahida Esop, our occupational therapist, and she's also an executive member of the Islamic Medical Association. She's been with us long haul on various shows and always supporting us in various topics with regards to occupational therapy. And we did something recently with ergonomics, new jargon, to get used to what that's all about. You can catch that show on our uploads of the YouTube channel as well as our website. Today, Wahida will be chatting to us about free play, but we've got some exciting news at the end, so please stay tuned to the rest of the show to be part of that. Assalamu alaikum to you, Wahida, and welcome back.
Wa alaikum salam. It's great to be back.
So today, a very different, something I did forget. Wahida Esop, ECI store, occupational therapist, and IMA. So that's something that I wanted to make mention, because the last time we chatted specifically about what your vocation, what you do on a daily basis.
Yes.
This now is like your part-time hobby, but
yes,
still
and my passion.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes,
still something that you love.
Yes,
and to do with the kids. And last week I saw you at the expo, so really showcasing some of the items of the ECI store, and bringing this to the fore. I think through the pandemic as well.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. So tell us a little bit about the ECI store and what we're going to be looking forward to today.
So the ECI store is a lockdown baby.
Mm-hmm.
It started with, my other work coming to a bit of a halt with COVID. And because as I said, I enjoy empowering parents with knowledge about bringing up kids and stimulating them in the right way. Selling toys was just up my alley in that way. So the ECI store, yes, it's run by myself. I keep a nice network of therapists, so speech therapists, audiologists, psychologists, to assist me with information, with the choice of products, to give parents a toy, but not just offer them a toy, but offer a show to parents the value of the toy and how it can stimulate children, and with the end goal of allowing that child to reach their optimal development. So that is essentially what ECI store, it's an online store, but we do have sort of national delivery for our products.
Brilliant. And with this, you're going to be bringing something special for our viewers at the end of the show.
Yes.
So what is your message to them with regards to that?
Okay, so we're going to be talking about free play, and as part of that, together with the company that also sponsored the gift, we have a giveaway called Imagimags.
Okay.
It's particularly the Imagimags square set, which I will show to you.
Okay.
But in order for, it's worth, I think it's 800 Rand. And
899, so 900 Rand.
No, it's 799,
Okay,
so 800 Rand, yes. But to qualify or to win or get the giveaway, listeners need to answer a question.
Okay.
And the question is, what is
No.
Okay, but I'll not say it now.
No,
okay,
don't say the
we'll say
question,
that later.
We'll do the question a little bit later
Okay,
on.
perfect.
So they have to listen to the show
Yes.
and watch it, of course, because
Yes.
we'll be doing some demonstrations on the Magimag and how they can use it. But to answer the question, they have to listen to the entire show.
Okay, perfect.
Because I think the question is somewhere in the show.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. All right. So the free play Uncapped. So we
Yes.
spoke to specialist audiologist and speech therapist Dr. Shabnam about the power of play
Yes.
and into introducing the idea of play being such a phenomenal thing and how it should just be free.
Yes.
Now you'll be running through some of how play can actually benefit the child and the different types of play, and also this beautiful month of Ramadan, we have to keep our little ones busy.
Yes.
Because moms and dads are in the kitchen or at the masjid, and they're going to have to take time for themselves and
Yes.
use their imagination.
Yes.
There was an interesting story I was telling her about the imagination, if our viewers missed that one. The little boy told his teacher that my uncle is Superman. And she's like, no, you cannot tell lies. It's not good to tell lies, and sort of the whole, moral thing.
Yes.
And he was like, but he is Superman. And he was just telling them wonderful stories about it. And at the end of the day, I think the following week or something, he actually brought his uncle to school, and he was Superman.
Oh my word.
The actor, I don't know who the actor is,
yes.
but he was actually Superman.
Sure.
And the teacher just got the shock of her life. But the reason why I bring this up is that we shouldn't stunt our children with regards to imagination.
Yes.
And how important that is.
Yes,
So let's
definitely.
understand what free play is.
Okay, so normally generally play can be very structured.
Yeah.
Like with every aspect of our lives and of our children's lives, we have a lot of structure. And structure is good.
Yeah.
Structure is important. It gives children a sense of calm. It makes them, it prepares them for what comes next. However, free play is a different type of play that is extremely important because it is a type of voluntary child-initiated play that stimulates a child's imagination but allows the child to explore the environment. And it's very, very interesting because we, as parents, all we want to do is we want to get in there. So if a child wants to play with something and takes out something, we immediately say, wait, let's make this or do this. Or we instruct them, go and play with that particular toy and make this for me. So free play allows that freedom of a child to explore, and it has amazing benefits. Amazing.
And we're going to talk about that benefits. Yes. I loved how you used the idea of using the child's environment, because often, as Dr. Shabnam was saying, these toilet rolls, there is empty bottles, there's things at home. Use one cupboard and, just open it up for the child, because often they get through the stage of their unpacking cupboards. And then they're going into drawers and just turning the house upside down. Let them and teach them to put it back again. So it's like you say, it's structure, but it's also like, not structured for them, but for you, you can use it to structure. So definitely. So let's talk about the benefits of free play.
So the biggest benefit of free play is that it stimulates the imagination and allows creativity. When you have a structured item to play with, or you have a structured environment and you are playing in that environment, we know a ball is you're supposed to hit a ball and a bat, or you're supposed to make, especially like with some of the Lego pieces, there are certain builds. So you have a Minecraft build, and this is what you're supposed to make, and that's the only sort of option for your little one to make that particular thing. But when you have free play, you are giving a child a box of blocks. You are giving a child a box of tiles. You are giving your child various different materials. So that this it doesn't extend to the particular toys. It can extend to different areas of their life, and it is also applicable to both younger and older children.
Yes.
But I'm going to go into that there. So it develops the imagination. It stimulates the imagination. So that is your biggest benefit.
Ultimately, yeah.
If you think about children and screen, watching a movie, everything is given to
Instant,
them.
yeah.
It's not, they don't have to sort of figure it out. They don't have to think of that. So they are definitely stimulating the imagination.
I want to come in there quickly, just listening to my niece. She was sitting in the back of the seat and she was looking out of the window, sitting in a car seat, and she says, oh, look at that, just looking at the window, driving on the highway, and she says, look at that rocket go. Oh my goodness, what a lovely flower. And we looked out by the window and she was so stimulated by nothing.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
and I was actually just blown away how beautiful this child could just sit there, look outside when you usually want your children to sit still. And and she just thought about all these things, and she was stimulating herself and using her imagination, keeping herself busy instead of having a crying child at the back of the seat, you know, nagging, whatever. I just thought that was amazing.
Yeah, I know. Kids really amazing. I think we also underestimate them often. So one of the other things that it does is it stimulates their motor skills. So one of the aspects of free play is to just let kids play outside. Okay. So whether you have a jungle gym in the yard, or you go into a jungle gym, or just you have a yard or a space where they can play. So they've got to think of what to do.
Yes.
They've got to think of the activity, and in that process of playing outside, they are improving their balance, their coordination, what they call postural adaptive skills with their body. So they are actually improving all of that. So that's one nice aspect of your motor of free play, that it stimulates that area.
The fine and gross motor skills.
Exactly.
Yeah, great stuff. Okay, let's quickly pay the bills, Wahida.
Yes.
Because I know Wahida will just go on, alhamdulillah. Shukr, we've got somebody really specialized in the industry, occupational therapist, Wahida Aesop, talking to us about free play, but uncapping this topic. Don't go anywhere. We chat more around this. Stay where you are. Welcome back. Assalamu alaikum. A very good day to you. I'm Khawa Solomon. Stay with me as we uncap free play. We spoke about the power play. Now we get into the nitty-gritties of a free play, how it benefits, what to do, action, how to use it. And don't forget to stay, continue listening, because at the end of the show we've got a giveaway, this beautiful Ramadan, to keep your kiddies busy. Compliments of the ECI store. Magi Square? Imagimax. There we go. All right, Wahida Aesop, let's continue with the conversation around the benefits of free play. We were chatting about children using the imagination, their creativity, and then this also enhancing their fine and gross motor skills.
Yes. So the other skills that it also stimulates is sort of what we call higher cognitive functioning. Okay. So obviously if they have to do something, remember they're playing alone and they're kind of figuring things out. So if they have to make something in their whole free play, or build something or draw something, they're going to have problems along the way. They're going to have to make decisions. They're going to have to use their judgment skills. And all of those things are stimulated because they are literally playing on their own, making their own thing. You're not there to say, oh, you've got a problem, let's do this to solve it. So they're stimulating those skills. The other thing it does is that it allows role play. Okay. So if you think of buying a little one a kitchen, she's going to, she or he is going to make you a cake. She's going to be cooking for you. She's going to make for you tea. And that's all in her imagination. But at the same time, those going through the motions of actually making tea and baking a cake will also elicit skills. But at the same time, they find in their interests. So if they have a whole lot of different role plays that they can engage in, they are looking into, it's almost like doing like a prospectus of career evaluations or hobby, or looking at future hobbies, potential for future hobbies. Just like baking, for example, is something that they can take on as a proper leisure activity when they get older, or even as a career. So if you expose them to many things, and we shouldn't limit it, you know, we tend to also give a girl a kitchen, give a boy a car, and we don't always change that, you know. And doesn't mean a boy shouldn't be in that situation. So
I love that idea.
Yes, so it really stimulates that role play. And then the thing that I also love about it is that kids play on their own.
Yes.
It develops that independence to say, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to complete it, and I'm not going to get anybody to help me. And once they've done that, it obviously boosts their confidence.
So I'm thinking of the teddy tea party. My daughter brings all her teddies outside, and then she asks her father to join, which I'm surprised actually. She doesn't ask me. And she's our youngest. So it's so cute to see, you know, her dad participating, sitting outside, legs crossed on the floor, having this little tea party with my daughter. Eventually, you know, he does get tired and he gets up, but at least, you know, they participate. So don't limit it just to the girls doing in the kitchen. Get the boys, you know, give a girl some tools. Who knows, she might be an engineer one day. And I love the fact that you said you actually giving them the opportunity to introduce them to something that they might not have seen before. So thank you so much for that.
So one of the other benefits of free play is it helps children develop what we call self-regulation. So I know it's quite a concept that's out there. So if you think of mommies that do the whole sleep training, and they leave their babies to cry themselves, and then they have the baby has to kind of figure out, okay, I must put the dummy in my mouth and I need to go back to sleep now. So it's basically that concept. But remember, self-regulation doesn't have to be in a baby. So it can be actually as you go older. It can even be at a you know, teenagers and adults that need to. So what self-regulation is basically managing, gaining insight into your reactions and behavior. So if you are now frustrated with a particular thing, and because it's your own thing and you are given the freedom to play, you're playing alone, and mommy's not there to jump every time you have an issue. You try and figure it out on your own. You problem solve. You figure out, or you get insight that, you know what, this is actually making me angry. I don't want to do this, or let me get a break from this particular toy, because it's so frustrating and I can't get it right. And I'm going to then take a walk and then come back. But the child figures that out all on their own.
So it's almost like problem solving, like you said.
But
she figures it out
also
without anybody's
gaining
help.
more control over your emotions. So there were studies, I think it was an Canadian study that said that they had exposed toddlers and preschoolers to an extended number of free play hours. And it actually showed that those children had better self-regulating skills by the time they reached early school or later preschool years. And that is purely because they were exposed to more free play and they could manage themselves. So you get like less tantrums, less of that kind of outburst behavior, because they have insight into themselves and how to regulate their behavior and their emotions.
So when you see a little toddler or a 5-year-old just kicking up a racket, which I did over the weekend at the mall, and the parents were on the floor with her literally, and she was just screaming. Actually, no, it wasn't at the mall. It was at the expo where I saw you. And this child was sitting. At any time, I can avoid taking my children to a mall or to an expo, which I would leave them with the nanny. But shame, it's a family event. So this little girl was having something in her hand and she was just screaming. She was just screaming. So it's about her getting the attention. you
Yes,
know,
yes.
and then getting what she needs and wants
Yeah.
at that time. So she wasn't able to self-regulate or problem
Yes.
solve her feelings.
Probably the lead up to that was poor self-regulation.
Okay.
So then, obviously, in that particular situation, there's elements of discipline and how, as a parent, you should intervene. So obviously, like, you know, ignoring her, just, you know, carrying her away, but still ignoring her, because you can't leave your child there, which would be nice to do for a short while,
walk away.
just to implement your lesson.
Yeah.
But you obviously
Everybody
can't
else
do
will give
that.
you stares.
You know, just to physically take your child away from the situation, but ignore her with her crying, not give her attention. Yeah. So it's sort of two aspects, but leading up to the tantrum is poor self-regulation.
Okay, and this helps free play.
Yes.
So let your child play freely to self-regulate her emotions.
Yes.
All right. What's next?
Okay, so
Lots
I have spoken about so this is the last one, but I have touched on it already. So it is the one where because a child is doing something on their own, they're making something, they're creating a product. They have this feeling that I've done this, you know, this is me. And it gives them that confidence boost. And also, it helps with emotional aspects like separation anxiety or transitional issues. So, like, for example, they've changed schools, or they started school and they're not liking the whole new environment. So, being in that free play environment allows them to get control of those things and to be more self-assured and also be confident.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So that's quite a bit of long list benefits of free play, and I'm sure.
But remember, the most important one is building imagination and creativity.
I was just going to say the same for me, because that's what comes out with free play.
Yeah.
And often we as parents, you know, we don't always play along. How important is it for us when that role play and that imagine, how important is it for us to play along, even if we are pressed for time, especially now in Ramadan?
So generally with play, it's nice to play along. It's important because children want that. They want your input. They want your feedback. They want your approval. With free play, however, I'll give you. I will mention some tips later.
Okay.
But we can limit it to what we say and how we say it. Because instead of saying, oh, let's do this and this. Oh, you're not doing this right. Let's do it like this.
Okay.
You're going to be limited and say, oh, what are we going to do now? What can we do? You know, so it's just the type of input that you're going to give them is going to be different with free
It's
play.
like when you tell the husband to change the nappy, you know, you're doing it wrong, or give the bottle. So often we just have to let them be.
Otherwise, and that's how they learn.
That's how they self-regulate.
True.
Okay, so let's talk about activities around free play. How can we introduce them? Let's create an environment for that.
Okay, so an outdoor space is very nice. If you don't have that, you can there's obviously a big room and a safe outdoor space where they can really do whatever they want. And then, you know, if they struggle, I will do something on setting the scene. You can give them sort of ideas, but providing the space is nice. Then the very nice thing is an activity. I just call it a blank canvas. It can be blank paper. It can be literally a canvas that you paint on. It can be a sandbox. It can be an outdoor. It can be a wall with you know, the sidewalk chalk or chalk that washes out.
Yes.
Right. So you're going to offer this to your child.
Yeah, you get those blackboard paint that you can actually paint on the wall and say, this is now your space.
And it's chalk, and it's and those are lovely because they just wipe away. I really like the sidewalk chalk because I literally tell parents with 18-month-old, listen, this is lovely because you can wash it off, you know, because kids love to explore with crayons and everything.
Oh my goodness.
If you have the chalk, you know, they know that they can only use
I've got writings all over my house.
Yes, so the
Which
chalk
I'm
is lovely.
for the moments.
And then you, at the same time, you're giving them that blank canvas.
Okay. Well, we're going to hold just there. I'm sure there's lots more activities around that. Wahida Esop, our occupational therapist, in studio with us, guiding us on free play and uncapping some of the secrets around that with our specialist, also a executive member of the Islamic Medical Association. Please do stay with us as we chat further around free play. Welcome back. Parenting today, helping us as parents circumvent those pitfalls and hopefully with a guide of the professionals out there and know when you need to call them. There is a place for them. And unfortunately, everybody doesn't have it at their fingertips. Go to your closest clinic, sister, and also they've just got a wealth of information. If you're struggling with anything with your children, please chat to some of our elders in our community as well. Just latch on to everybody. Let us be a support to each other. So we're chatting about free play and uncapping some of the secrets with occupational therapist and the guide and owner and establisher of ECI Store. What does ECI stand for, Wahida?
It stands for Early Childhood Intervention.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
I was always wanted to ask you
that.
that.
I actually forgot to mention that. Yeah, it's
Early Childhood Intervention.
Nice way to remember it.
Because we know ECD, and I was like, it must be something around that. Early Childhood Intervention. Brilliant. Okay, so we're on the benefits of the free play. No, sorry, we've moved on to the benefits. Quite a bit of benefits, and hopefully people remember that.
Yes.
And then we are now on the activities, setting the scene, some of the platforms that they can use for free play.
Yes. Okay. So we mentioned the blank canvas.
Oh yes, that's right.
And often if a child doesn't know what to draw, and then they look at you like, you don't know what to draw. I don't know what to draw.
What to do? Yeah.
Then maybe ask them about the events of the day. Maybe draw what happened to you today, or draw what you saw, draw what you did. Or if they want to draw something that they're really passionate about, or even if it's a cartoon character, just to get them sort of on a roll to start with that kind of activity, you can do that.
Okay.
Then to offer them role play tools. So if they want to play teacher,
oh, I love that.
to have the little chalkboard and obviously the dolls for the role playing, then the cooking stuff. I was thinking about this, and it's so funny. Our childhood, our parents' childhood, these were just the norm. Yeah. This is what we all played with.
This is what we all did. Teacher. Yeah.
Yes. I used to love teacher. That was my favorite favorite game to play.
It's actually so weird. One of my my kid's therapist was sitting with her, and then he was saying, teacher, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I haven't heard that for ages. They just don't know teacher.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
So sadly, we have to actually get them back to that, and show them, this is what they can do. Okay. So the other thing you can do is look into free play toys.
Okay.
So those are your building blocks, and you get a whole range of that. Okay. The thing, if they do have Lego already, every now and again, especially if they're younger, encourage, because the Lego fans are they're serious Lego kiddies out there, right? So obviously they have their specific builds, which is fine, but when they are younger, and if they are you still feel need to engage in free play, let them make their own thing.
Yeah.
Break that down, or that's usually a big no-no, or get the rest of the blocks and build something new and different. Yeah. So offer that. Magnetic tiles are also very nice. Okay. So we've got the ones from Imagine Mags, which is a local product, which it's part of our giveaway. Yay. So those are really, really nice. And then with other activities, you still want children to read. And if you look at reading as a free time activity, then let kids read things that are not part of their syllabus or not part of their usual things that they need to attend to. So, and also, what also helps is, we tend to enforce what our children read.
Yes.
So say, okay, listen, you need to read these X and Y books and this kind of literature, and you know, so we don't really allow them to sort of explore what their interests are. So if you allow them to read different books, and it doesn't have to stick to books. It can be different comic books, magazines. Okay, there's not that many magazines out there these days, but if there are, you know, to explore those kind of things, because that also is a way of freedom, allowing them to play or explore different areas, and then from there, it will grow into an interest or a leisure activity or a hobby, and you want that. You want that for kids.
It will be fun.
Yes.
Because I found that if you have one of my family members, they were struggling with their son. Boys sometimes are very bad readers, and they're just lazy. And they found that he was a joker, or he liked magic. So they got him books on that, magic books, joke books, cartoon, Asterix and Obelix stuff, you know. And that actually sparked his interest for a little while. But I mean, it got him to read and to enhance, but just to allow it to happen, really.
Yes, that's what we need to do.
So we're looking at, you know, are there any more platforms that we can use for?
So yeah, that's basically that. You, as I said, it's because it's free play. It really is anything in your environment. You know, so it's not limited to that.
So with the environment, does it have to be a certain certain set, a certain way, and sort of the scene around in your home? Can you introduce free play in your car? Does it always have to be, you know, a structured environment?
Unstructured.
Unstructured, rather. Sorry.
So what you can do to set the scene, a safe space obviously is something that it's a given that your children do need a safe space. However, what you can also do is, which I think as parents we don't always do, because we kind of have our own ideas of what we plan or what we're going to do, is to listen to your child. So to listen to what he feels like doing or what he needs to do, and get a feeling of his interest.
Pretty picture up
yes,
there.
Yes. So
Setting the scene.
I love the whole. You know, I know people don't like to give up their lounge or give up their space. But, you know, when kiddies are at home, as long as you make it a rule to clear up afterwards, making their own tents and their own little forts is really a lovely idea for free play.
And I remember having a double bunk.
And
you know, having a hideaway.
Yes, and you know, they can use so much, and it actually isn't limited to younger kids. You can have an older kid, listen here, making this fancy tent, glamping in your lounge. And that is literally free play. So give them that space, listen to what they want. And then obviously if kids can't come up with anything, you can keep your platforms, your blank canvas ready. So you can keep the paper, you can keep the different types of paints, or the different types of glitter, or the different types of Play-Doh. You can keep that at hand.
Buttons.
Yes. Or craft things. Craft things are beautiful for that. So keep that at hand. You keep a little box. It doesn't have to be their box. It can be your box. And you'll say, okay, listen here, you can use my box today. You know, let's free play with whatever we have here. And then, as I mentioned earlier, give them prompts. So when they're stuck, don't say, let's do this. Say, what can we do? What do you think? So you allowing them still, they're in control. They still leading the way, they leading the project, they leading and they get into the end goal, not you.
As much as there are so many benefits, and you know, us as parents, we need to be involved. I want to also look at the flip side of when we don't allow our child to be imaginative, when we stunt their creativity, when we don't necessarily have a space, or you know, there's just, we can make excuses, but we can also make things happen. It's easy to make excuses, but what are we doing to our children when we are stunting their free play?
So when you know, it's almost like the child ended up with a tantrum, right? If you think about, if your child isn't always exposed to a structured environment, they tend to also become a bit I'm not going to use that. It's very
Negative.
distinct OCD term, but
Yeah.
they become very rigid
Alright.
in what they want and how things must play out.
Okay.
So what happens is that when they are thrown in a situation where, oh my God, this wasn't planned, I don't know what to do here, they get immediate anxiety.
Okay.
And that anxiety, if you, especially when kids get older, and they are faced with exams and they are faced with tasks that don't go their way or were not planned, they really struggle.
Sure.
So they really struggle because they can't spontaneously think, okay, I can just sort this like this, or this is what I can do, because they haven't had that kind of exposure from a young age, and they haven't been trained to sort of think independently, and they've had so much of outside structure that to actually figure it out on their own is really, really hard.
Okay, so actually, if your kid is struggling
Yes.
and all of those symptoms and signs and characters that you've just mentioned is a problem today in your older child, it's probably because
of the free play,
the free play. There we go. Yeah. We need to pay the bills. When we come back, we talk again, setting the scene, the environment, as well as free play for older kids as well. And then, yay, we're going to have the giveaway after this to keep your kids busy for this beautiful month of Ramadan. Hope you are well wherever you are. Inshallah, we'll continue this conversation. Free play just after this. Welcome back. Assalamu alaikum. A very good day to you. This is Parenting Today and a beautiful Ramadan, this beautiful month it is. Hope you are doing great and benefiting from this. I know it's, like you said, it just started, and there you look again. Quite a few days has passed and we want to make the most of it. And free play, allowing your child to do what they need to do, be creative and use their imagination is what you need to do and encourage during this time as well. So Wahida Esop, executive member of the IMA as well as our occupational therapist and the founder of ECI Store, will be giving away a great prize at the end of the show. So I hope everybody was listening closely to some of the benefits, the scenes and the role playing and all of that. But she's got a question at the end of the show. Wahida, we set a scene, we set the environment, we spoke about some of the negative connotations when it does come to not allowing your child's free play. Now let's get to the older ones. What is in store for them when it comes to free play?
So what you're actually doing when a child is exposed to free play, remember, they are using their curiosity, they're using their interest, and they're exploring the world around them. And it's in different avenues. Okay. So it's outdoors, it's indoors, it's on paper, it's role played. And you are actually allowing, it's almost like your child is now looking into or finding themselves. Okay. So later on, those free play activities actually become a proper leisure activity or a proper career. And it starts with having exposure, because you can't find your true passion, your true thing that really gives you that calm unless you've now tried it out. So that's the one thing with older kids that you must remember when exposing them to free play. And you have obviously now different degrees of free play. So the one nice thing that I think is really cool with older kids is doodling.
Oh, yes.
So we do that. It's also in a way of a fidget activity.
Okay.
So it helps with concentration. If they are listening to a talk or a teacher and they doodling, it really does with concentration. Yeah. But that kind of doodling also can move over to dress designing or actual drawing, graphics, things like that. So, and especially if they, for example, my son is passionate about animals and birds, and he draws, and he's drawn from a very young age. And every time he goes to a place, or he's seen an animal, or he's seen a particular bird, he comes back and he wants to draw. So that's become now his sort of leisure activity that really he's crazy about. And then actual like painting or sketch work that kids can, older kids, because it starts off with free play.
Yes.
They take in a canvas, they may not have skill, but they realize as they're doing it, I want to learn about this.
Yes.
I actually want to do more of this.
Yeah.
And then they start, and it actually becomes their hobby. Then construction play. So obviously we have the Legos that are for Legos go up to 18
yes.
plus. So
50.
yes. So that can evolve
Yes.
as a leisure activity for your
1,000, 3,000
for your
plus.
older kids.
Yes.
Yes.
Legos.
So and it doesn't have to be Lego. So you have these planes that you can build that are obviously much more intricate and design wise. So they can go up to, it starts off as a small free time play with a little thing, and it actually evolves into something bigger. And then the whole dress up and make believe. So if you think of little girls playing dress up and putting on different outfits, different role playing, and what it actually can, as they get older, this happened to my daughter. She loves the makeup thing.
Yeah.
So she literally plays with makeup. It's not her everyday thing to, it's not a necessity, so to speak, but sometimes just to spend hours in her room, more when she was in school, and doing a different type of makeup look, basically becomes her sort of leisure activity. And then also again, the reading thing that we spoke about. So reading a different array of content, and letting children be exposed to that. So that's usually with our older kids what we can do.
I absolutely love the fact that not one free play advice was on a screen, on a tablet, because often that's the first thing we go, oh no, YouTube that, go and sit in front of the TV and run. We can actually literally shut down the TV, pack away, and then Ramadan they say, put the TV away, but you have to watch Hilaal TV.
Yes.
And literally keep it on that channel 347.
Yes.
But the idea is that they didn't go to a gaming console or something in their hand, something that's stationary. There is, I can't believe we filled an entire show
we didn't bring it up.
Yes, and not once bring it up. So I love that idea.
Yes.
So now I want to get to the competition and how we can use one of the toys that you're going to be giving away in this show for free play.
Yes. So I'm going to. So Imagine Mags is actually a local product, and it's magnetic tiles. So it's a nice quality product, and I'm just going to show it to you here. Okay, so we have a little of a build up. We started off. So so it's magnetic, as you can see. So it's got magnetic pieces. You can take this off.
Brilliant.
And the magnetic pieces are and as I said, it's nice quality pieces. And then basically they can make whatever they want with it. I'm very boring today, so I'm just making a cube.
The block.
Yes, but so there's different types of sets with these.
Okay.
So you have what they call a foundation set, which is the biggest set, and that has even movable parts. So it's even got a little, like a base with wheels, and they can use these to build on there and move the car around. Okay. One of my favorites is the marble set. So it's really
magnetic marbles.
Yeah, so it's the marbles themselves are not magnetic, but what it does have is these. I think they're called shoots. So those bendable, you have like a
testicle,
I don't know. I'm not sure what you actually call them. So you can use that to make a marble run.
Okay.
So obviously, if you think about a marble run, there's a lot of structure involved. The marbles have to stand, they have to have a base, and they have to figure out how they're going to come through
so use their
to
brain
the end.
For that.
Yes. So I love the marble run. The set that we're going to be, there's also an architectural set, right? So that's got all the curved pieces.
Is it this one, this dome?
So we've got the dome here. So hopefully I can lift it up without it breaking.
Don't break it.
Yes. So they did.
Okay.
Nice
so those are all separate pieces.
So they're all separate pieces. I'm not going to open it up because it's
going to
fall.
Okay. But that's a nice part about it.
So it's you can really create it.
Yeah.
But then if it does fall and doesn't stay, you've got to use all your other cognitive skills to try and figure out how to actually keep it that way.
Okay.
And the set that we're going to be doing, see, there we
that
go.
broke.
Oh, almost. So for the giveaway today, we're going to be giving away the square set. Okay. So I think that it's mostly square pieces.
Okay.
And
you can make triangles with it.
Yes. So there's about, I think it's 36 pieces in here.
Let's turn it around and see.
Okay. So there's the type of pieces that are in here.
Okay, brilliant.
Okay. And you can make pieces. Bridges and, see, there's a picture of a bridge there. Bridges, houses,
tents.
Yeah. So there, as I said, again, it's a platform for free play, and children can literally make with whatever they want. It's also suitable for younger kids. So I would actually, even from 2 to 3 years old, they literally can put them together, and they would just start off with stacking them.
Yes.
And then as they get a little bit older, the builds become more creative.
I was telling you earlier that my son, I've got a reward box and a birthday box for gifts and stuff. And he was able to get a reward. And I said, okay, go to the box and find, because I think I bought something like that a while back already.
Yes.
And I had it in the box. And just last week, I was like, what is in your pocket? And then I saw these Magi, Imi, whatever, magnetic stuff.
Tiles.
And he's like 15 going on 16.
Sure.
And he is playing with us. So I think, it doesn't give
they're
you
lovely. They're actually quite therapeutic. So even at the, we had that expo, so we had them on demo. But every now and again, all 4 of us, that like me and my family members, would go and start playing with it and, make our own little thing there.
It's very interesting how they actually had advanced these magnetic pieces. I'm breaking it.
Yes.
And then it falls. But you are able to actually put it together like this.
Yes.
And, do all these designs and what you have and let it stand up.
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, there we go. So Wahida, thank you so much for that. But so the last thing that you're going to leave us with now is the question that you wanted to start off with.
Yes.
If they want to win, and of course we will open it. I don't know if you have an Instagram page or our social media page, they can send the answers through to. But what is that question?
So the question is, what is the biggest benefit of free play?
Okay, so there was quite a few benefits we did. I think it took us to segment 1 and 2.
Yes.
But we mentioned the biggest one a few times.
Yes,
I remember. I've got the answer.
Good.
Okay. So what are the biggest benefit? Not one of them. What is the biggest benefit?
So there's lots, but there's the biggest benefit.
The one that we mentioned first, and then we mentioned it at the end again. I remember.
Yes.
Okay. So then please send through your answers to our social pages and our WhatsApp line. And the first correct answer will win Imagi Mags. Whoa, it's quite heavy.
It's heavy because of the magnets.
Sure.
And it's quite, as I said, it's good quality.
Yes.
It's also a local product.
Oh, brilliant. So local is lekker, supporting local.
Yes.
Wahida, it was an absolute pleasure chatting to you. You're going to join us next week again on this whole introducing some of the toys of the ECI store and looking at concentration. So what can we look forward to the next show, inshallah?
Yes, I'm going to speak about concentration, specifically what are the different elements of concentration and how to stimulate concentration with various activities. And then because we're still in Ramadan, I'm going to look at concentration for kids in Ramadan.
Brilliant. All that in our next show. Shukran so much for your time once again. And always a pleasure chatting to you. See you next week. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
That is Wahida Esop, occupational therapist, executive member of the Islamic Medical Association as well, and a founder of the ECI store. Remember that giveaway. What is the biggest benefits? There was lots we mentioned, but what is the biggest benefits of free play? So we uncapped that topic today. Stay tuned for next week's shows, which Wahida Esop joins us again on concentration and some tips around fasting in Ramadan. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned to Hilaal TV for great shows. From myself, Hawa Salman, wassalamu alaikum and goodbye for now.